do you want to start? Good evening. My name is Dr. Uza Ibrahim, and I'm one of the few global experts on theoretical production ecology, with particular interest in the application of yield density equations. But today's topic, I will not be talking about yield density equation per se. I will be talking about something different that also I have interest in. The topic of my discussion today will be an overview of Nigeria's agricultural system. And as you know, agriculture can be produced based upon the system you decide to adopt. In general, production can be either through what I want to call conventional system.
You have to be clear. They paused it.
Or through what I may also want to call organic system. A conventional system and organic system, as you can have a bridge. If you have conventional system here, and over here you have organic system, then you can have another system that is neither here nor here. In other words, it tries to adopt the positive attribute of organic system as well as the positive attribute of conventional system. And what I mean by organic to a layman would be something, an agricultural system per se, that either completely prohibits the use of synthetic chemicals such as pesticides, herbicides, herbicides, and genetically modified organisms. This is the agricultural system that restricts or prohibit completely or restrict the use of these and many other input in crop production is typified with organic system. But with organic system means more than that. It's an holistic system that is not just about the avoidance of the use of pesticide or herbicide, because issues of fairness to the soil, fairness to the producer himself, fairness to the community and environment are all things that organic system takes seriously. Having said that, what I want to say here in short is that at the moment, the practice of, I haven't talked about organic system, which is, as I said, is regulated, is regulated, it has do's and don'ts. On the other hand, conventional system is more liberal. It is open to new technologies, it's open to the acceptance of new technologies. And what I want to call conventional system accept technologies, new technologies. These new technologies that conventional system is open to, doesn't matter any technology that can help to improve productivity, because with conventional system, emphasis is more on maximization of yield, maximization of productivity. It has less concern about issues of environment, about issues of human health. Those are issues that organic system takes into cognizance, as well as production, as well as the yield itself. So those are the key differences between conventional systems. So to put it simple, any agricultural system that to some extent cannot easily be qualified as organic system by default it can simply be put as a conventional system. But even within conventional system itself, you have differences. The so-called hybrid that I was talking before, when I was talking about you can have conventional system, you have organic system. So if you have system that will be like low input system over here, uh, this one is neither organic or conventional, but it tries to not to go too conventional. As in case of, for instance, you put in a 200 kilogram per hectare of nitrogen. Instead, you can decide to put on 50 and now use organic approaches to supplement with the nitrogen you need, or fertilizers that you need. So, having said all this, what I'm trying to say in essence is that to put it, if you are in terms of marketing, it is only items that are under the organic system that were produced based upon acceptable organic standards, organic guidelines, organic principles that will be marketed as organic. Items produced under conventional system will have to be sold at conventional prices. In other words, they won't enjoy the premier prices that differentiate organic products from the conventional ones. Similarly, the items under these that are the so-called low input system, by default, they share both features of organic system and conventional system. But items produced under these will not qualify as organic system products. They will have to be sold as conventional. So what you have is that although you produce items that to some extent will also help in help towards environmental protection, towards those items will not be sold as organic because they are not qualified to be sold as organic. They will have to be sold as conventional products. So, in terms of where we are in Nigeria, I would say that majority of farmers in Nigeria are not under this what I would call low input production system. They are not actually conventional producers to the extent that they will have to use all the input at the required level that they ought to use for producing organic conventional products. So this may be either because of lack of funds, or simply lack of fund to purchase the needed input for production for producing organic products, or simply lack of access to those items when the need arises. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that there is deep problem here, and these problems need to be ameliorated. If this problem need to be ameliorated, if organic if products are to be sold either as appropriate, whether as conventional or organic. So the essence here is that the majority of farmers at the moment that ordinarily, if we define organic system simply in terms of lack of use of synthetic agrochemicals, uh, then I would say that to a large extent you have farmers that are actually organic producers, not necessarily because they are following any non guideline for organic production, but because they are not using any, they are not actually using any synthetic materials in their production. So they are actually organic producers as default. So the problem is that because of lack of acceptable uh, document, guidelines, there is no enabling guidelines, there is no enabling policy, there is no enabling guidelines, no enabling policy to move organic system forward in Nigeria. Whether you produce under this category or you produce under this category or that you produce under this category, at the end of the day, you go to the market and sell almost at the same price. This is not the way it ought to be, because with organic system, for instance, and even to the large extent the low input systems, it is assumed that they have benefit that are just more than just producing crops or producing animals. They have, for instance, roles to play in the ecological services, and this needs to be appreciated through premier prices for these products. So if you are talking about, for instance, if you have maize to be sold as 10 naira under conventional system, ideally under organic system, you should have at least 12 to 14 or even 16 naira. This should reflect not just because of the yield decreasing with organic system generally. If a major feature is the low input, low yield, because of the lack of use of synthetic materials, you have low yield. So this low yield needs to be compensated through premier prices, and premier prices is the prices above the comparative conventional products. So if you have guidelines that farmers follow, they will be able to have these premier prices because they follow the guidelines, an acceptable guidelines for organic system. They have these premier prices, so they have a label that will clearly say these products are organic products. So they will be able to sell their products as organic because these are organic products. These are products that were produced based upon organic system. The methods that are acceptable under organic standard were adhered to in their productions. But if there is no lack of premier prices, there will not be incentive for organic system. In other words, there is no need for me to produce if I know that my yield will be low anyway. And at the end of the day, the prices between my yield and the prices of other people will not dramatically differ. So if you have these sort of things altogether, then there's no much difference. There is no significant difference. It has to be the same. It has to be almost the same to some extent. So what I'm trying to say here is that the future of agriculture in Nigeria is to first and foremost the future of agriculture in Nigeria is to first get what I would want to call standard written document for organic production. Written document, and this written document that we will need one, we will need a document that with policies that are policies relevant to organic farming. And policy relevant to organic farming will not necessarily be restricted to agricultural sector itself. Because, for instance, if you are talking of preventive medicine, for instance, these are the sort of things organic farming aims to tackle. So it has to be holistic. As well as that, it's also talking about protecting the environment. So issues of ecological services will come in there. So these policies needs to be looked into in detail for any meaningful progress to be made. Secondly, you have policy relevant to organic farming. Then you have policies, you have a written guideline for organic farming. Written guideline for organic farming. Written guidelines for organic producers and other stakeholders. So this written guideline and stakeholders will be able to explicitly tell producers, even a person that doesn't know anything about farming or the organic farming before, or completely doesn't know anything about farming, or at least can read. Or even if you cannot read, there should be somebody that should be able to read it and explain to you in the language that you understand. So this written document has to, first and foremost, be able to tell us what is organic farming itself. Then goes in at least give a general summary of some of the major ways, a few crops, at least some few crops that are common in Nigeria can be produced on the organic system. The good news is that with organic farming itself, the emphasis is on using traditional method of productions, using traditional and method of production. But this traditional method does not have to be must not have negative impact on humans, animals, or the wider environment itself. It doesn't necessarily mean that every traditional practice, farming practice, is acceptable under organic farming. Some are not. So it's something that is difficult to be able to say completely that every traditional system is acceptable under organic farming system. Having said that, what I want to say here again, thirdly, is that you have a written guidelines for producers. Then you have to this guideline as well. Yeah, they have to be written regulation for the organic producers. This can be joined together with the guidelines or separated as a common document. So you have a written regulations and laws for organic farming. So this will tell us do's and don'ts of organic farming, what organic producers can do, what they cannot do, and not just organic producer at the primary level, even organic marketers and people storing or delivering organic produce, either locally or internationally. So what we don't have at the moment in Nigeria is that we don't have documents that will explicitly tell us, if I want to go organic, what are the policies that we have in place to enable organic farming. Because organic farming is a system that is very, very different from other farmings. I've alluded earlier to the fact that the economies governing organic system is different from other farming system, because it's not simply a matter of what input and output. You also consider what are the positive benefits that the system is capable of offering or has offered, and so how should that be compensated for? So these are some of the things that ought to be taken into cognizance in deciding whether or not organic system is a system that should be practiced or not. I've mentioned all this clearly, and I'm sure that with appropriate policies that will allow this, first, the policies relevant for organic farming to explicitly to some extent, there are already policies that are already in our written documents. It's just a matter of getting them sorted into something that will be uniform, that can be easily accessed. It will be also a matter of improving on existing policies, or a matter of creating new policies that will help to ginger organic system to grow. That is one, that is at the policy level. Then this one can be handled by people that know organic system. But the fact is that most, the fact is that I have due respect for our academics and policymakers, as well as the administrators of agricultural administrators at various levels in Nigeria. But the truth of the matter is that not everyone actually understands what organic system itself is, what is organic. It's not, as I said, it's not simply a matter of not producing crops with chemicals or synthetic chemicals. It goes far beyond that. So how do you be able to understand what is organic and what is not organic? How can you understand what is organic and what is not organic? You need this information. And in understanding this information, this will be able to guide producers and guide other stakeholders. It is difficult, and it's not difficult, I mean to say, but without these three documents, anyone doing organic farming in Nigeria will find it difficult to make any significant impact. Because the first thing is, which document are you actually following in your organic production? This is necessary. If you don't have a document that is guiding you, or that you are sticking to produce your crops or produce your animals, it's a major problem. And at the moment, we simply don't have it. It's not, as I said, it's not a rocket science for us to go organic, because we're already used to some of the features of organic production anyway. But the problem is we don't have a document that is uniform, that is in one assembly, that we can easily access to be able to produce what we ought to produce. We don't have that. And until we have that, there will be problem. Until we have a document that will say, this is what needs to be produced, this is what is right, this is what is not right, this is what is restricted, this is not what is prohibited, and this is what is allowed under organic system. We don't have that. And until we have that, there will be problem with organic productions in Nigeria. And for virtually all these three categories of documents that we will need in terms of the relevant policies, this will be in terms of the guidelines itself, or in terms of regulation. These documents can be better produced by people that have at least prior knowledge of organic system. They cannot be produced by people that don't know anything about organic system. And this is where the problem is, because as I said, I have due respect for people that are distinguished academics. I've seen a number of publications on organic system. But what I'm saying is that, yeah, it's possible for you to produce items based on organic system anywhere. But the true matter is that you produce things based upon organic system, but it's difficult for you to explicitly say that these items that you have produced are actually organic. Then it makes life difficult, because what you ought to do is to be able to clearly state that these items were produced based upon organic system, following social guidelines or social document. Anyone that is producing item that is suggestive that is organic at the moment in Nigeria cannot confidently say this is the document that I have followed in producing these items. And without that, it's difficult to be able to say this is organic, because what is not organic cannot be organic. So to start with, personally, what I would say is that out of these items, the one perhaps that can be easily produced is the guidelines itself. Because if we want to make it easy for people, what we need is resources to be able to guide farmers. Then we can assume that people don't know anything about organic. Then we can say, okay, anyone that has publications, or you have or there is original paper or review paper that is telling us about not to use pesticide or herbicide or chemical. Can you please submit those? This can be done through either seminar or conferences. Then from there we'll be able to assemble enough materials that can be used for production of organic materials in the future. That is one. Secondly, we can also talk about we have this and the pesticide, herbicide, that's one approach. The second approach will be to first and foremost give likely stakeholders of organic system to send them on short-term course that will be sufficient enough to be able to guide them on how organic system should be produced. What are the marketing system? What are the marketing opportunities that they should follow? What are the guidelines they should follow in producing organic products? What are the guidelines? These should be followed through organic. What guidelines they should follow, and if we have enough people, we have got enough policymakers, enough extensionists, enough researchers that have this basic knowledge on organic system, then an agenda can be formulated that will now give us enough time to be able to come up with these three documents. For instance, the first agenda will be a first seminar or conference, or whatever name we want to call it, that will now ask people to be able to submit written documents, either a review paper or original papers that has either relevance to organic system. For instance, if the paper is talking about lack of use of pesticide, for instance, or lack of or manual weeding or something like that, or lack of use of synthetic veterinary drugs, such papers will be relevant for organic farming. Then, after that, maybe after two months or so, another meeting can be set up again to synthesize this. So with at least 3 or 4 different meetings of this nature, we should be able to have these 3 documents. And once we have these 3 documents, the last thing that will be a little bit of challenge is that we are talking about regulation, and regulation itself cannot just be done by researchers or people interested in organic system. It has to go to the relevant parliament, whether it's at state level or the federal. In this case, all my advocacy is that we should try to have what we can call Nigerian organic document in the first instance. If we have what is called Nigerian organic document, every other thing else will follow subsequently. So I don't want a situation where I don't think we are right to have different organic document in various states. If we have at least a uniform Nigerian organic documents to guide organic producers, this should be sufficient in the meantime. But having said that, it will need the input of legislators, and for legislators to be able to adequately legislate on issues governing concerning organic system, they ought to also understand what our organic system works. This can be made easy if already we have people that have been trained, whether through short courses or whatsoever, that prepares the document for them, and it's just for them to now use their legislative terminologies to now furnish the document to make it into relevant laws that will now be useful for organic industry in general. So this is, personally, to me, this is the way forward if we are actually going to make any meaningful impact for organic food industry in Nigeria. And by the way, organic production is not simply about organic food. It can have organic non-food as well. And with the population in Nigeria at the moment, we don't have to look elsewhere in terms of looking for market for organic products. But what we must do, however, is that we have to improve on our advocacy and enlightenment about what organic system is and what it is not. Because if people know what organic system is, they know the benefit of an organic system, they will buy into it. And we have at least appreciable middle to cadre, at least in some major cities, such as Abuja and so on and so forth. They should be able to, we have people that will actually be able to buy organic products, to be able to buy into organic products and patronize organic products. With that, so what I'm trying to say is that our standard, we can make standards for ourselves at the moment. But in making standards for ourselves, these documents, we have to make reference to acceptable global document for organic system, like the Codex Alimentarius, which is FAO, WHO document for organics. Is something. It's like, if you like, a benchmark document that can be used by any country to now improve on its organic production system. So these 2 documents, if you like, can be used for organic production. And as far as I'm concerned, once these have been taken care of, the future will be right. Nobody is saying that we should all go organic. It because even countries where organic system is well appreciated, well established, it is still compared to the conventional system, conventional sector or conventional food industry. Organic system is still, to some extent, a niche market. You understand? Meaning that it is, though it has its own established consumers, it's not a market that has come to take over the conventional market. So even in Nigeria, uh, one of the hiccups that is likely is that people that are already used to conventional system may object to going organic. So, but it has to be explicit. What you're trying to do is actually to create opportunities for choices. If you have choices of maize, you have a corn. If you just sweet maize, roasted sweet maize, and you're roasting it, you tell people this is organic and this is conventional. This is what. Why is this one? Why is this? The price of this higher? You tell them this is organic because of this and that. So what you are trying, in short, is that you're trying to create opportunities uh, for diversity in agricultural products, to give people choices about what they want to buy and what they don't want to buy. So with this, I think I would want to cut it here, and I thank you for listening. Thank you so much. Bye.